Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the Business Edition and the SillyVille Edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you'd like to catch the show live. And today we're going to start with just a couple little updates and then jump on into some business news. First, Mastadon now has an official iPhone app. The downside is it does not allow you to use the various federated servers, but if you're on the raw Mastodon server, you now have the app for that, and their focus is to get more people onto Mastodon. So, of course, I would recommend, based on our previous section, not to use an iPhone at all, so who cares? Anyway, for those that are still involved in that, in the iPhone, go ahead and use the Mastodon app. Okay. AMD and Valve are working together to develop an improved Linux CPU driver that will benefit the Steam Deck. Of course, Steam Deck is based on Arch Linux, so hopefully this will find its way up through the Archies. So we can all have better things. So basically what they're looking to do is an improved driver for scaling on the Zen 2 processors. This should lend more credibility to Valve's claim that the Steam Deck can achieve at least 30 frames per second in all modern games, which shouldn't be too difficult with how small this screen size is, but nevertheless, that is still a good goal. So keeping an eye on the Steam Deck here. I'm not a huge gamer. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily the target market for it or if I would even buy one because, yeah, I really don't play games at all anyway. But that being said, this is a huge improvement here for Linux as well. Well, Square is set to buy Afterpay, which offers a buy now, pay later service for $29 billion in stock. Holy they must have some serious uses for this. Of course, Square, competitor to PayPal. I'm not sure either one is necessarily good. But what Afterpay does is that it's a credit type app that allows you to put in payments to buy something up front. Now, the in theory advantage is you're not actually making any interest payments on those. So I'm not sure exactly where or how they're making their money on that. But nevertheless, that is what they are suggesting to do. So who is it? Apple is also reporting on a similar service, the Apple Pay Later. So Afterpay already serves more than 16 million customers and nearly 100,000 merchants across the world. According to a press release, Square and Afterpay expect the transactions close in the first quarter of 2022. Once it is completed, Square will appoint an Afterpay director to join Square's board. So, again, I don't know exactly how they're making their money on this unless they are being exploitive on anybody who misses a payment, which is a possibility. I think also this might be the service that also allows you to donate some extra money as well if you like the service. I can't remember for sure. But we're starting to see a lot of merging and constellation of all of the different tech companies together. Basically, they're all going to do things. Somebody here in the comments says Afterpay makes money for the merchant. So I guess maybe the merchant pays a little bit to have it on Afterpay, assuming that they might not make the sale otherwise. Well, this one's right up my alley. Of course, some of you guys know I used to work in the digital textbook world. I worked for mostly an online homework system. Pearson was one of our big competitors. But Pearson is starting to roll out a major shift away from print to digital, offering Pearson Plus, which is a subscription service to basically have a subscription service for your textbooks for college. Now, other companies have done the same. I thought there was more to this article. Oh, you know what? I think this is one was on this particular browser with the blocks and stuff. It doesn't show the text. My apologies for that. Let me just go ahead and summarize it. The Pearson Plus, they're starting it out for $10 a month, allows you to get one title. So one college textbook, access for a month. Now, there's a 4-month minimum. You can also, though, get the Ultimate, which is $14.99 a month, minimum again 4 months. This allows you to access every Pearson textbook. So it's a decent price from that perspective. I don't know exactly how they're making it work because Cengage Learning, one of their competitors, did a similar thing for $60 a month. And in theirs, they had serious problems with the people who write all these textbooks need royalties, and you're not exactly getting a lot of royalties if somebody's paying $14 for every textbook that they make. And to me, this seems like it's going to be cutting it out. In fact, Cengage, I think they had to shut their servers down because they got sued by a boatload of authors. Pearson says, well, they worked on this on the forefront. I just don't know exactly how they're going to be collecting enough money to pay the royalties and everything else. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this service. Well, it is actually cheaper. It is a lot cheaper to access your textbooks with this. The downsides, obviously, it would only apply to Pearson books, so it may force certain schools to do more Pearson texts in order to try to keep costs low for students. But one of the biggest challenges is those of us who have actually took our majors seriously, we like to keep our books. Let me know in the comments here if you kept your college textbooks, if you still have them or not. You might want to flip through them. You might want to keep them for continuing education or refreshing yourself on your majors. You can't do that if you're doing these subscription service books. And on top of this, it's a whole lot harder to read and understand the book in the digital form than it is in the print form. So I'm not a huge fan of this, but at the same time, it is a significant thing in the business news. I wouldn't do it, but it is really, really good for the cost. So there you have it. And onto our feature story, Microsoft's Windows 11 outreach efforts are not going very well. People are actually a little mad about some of this. So the overly heavy-handed moderation tends to cause more problems than it solves. So basically they did a July 21st live stream. The Microsoft program manager, Arira Carly, is this iCarly? iCarly answered Microsoft tech community users' questions about the final hardware requirements. So people are like, well, you're saying you can't run this on these things, but I'm running it just fine. The problem is a lot of people are not running real Windows 11. So they say, although the hardware requirements, including or not limited to PM 2.0 support, are not enforced for the alpha images, they will be there for the final versions. So we talk about this new hardware floor, what devices are eligible and which aren't, Kylie said, adding, we know that it sucks and that some aren't going to be eligible for Windows 11. She went on to state that Microsoft is imposing the unpopular hardware floor to keep devices more productive, have better experience, and most importantly, have better security than before so they can stay protected in the new workforce. The new workforce. See, they're priming us for the new normal and the great reset already. Despite acknowledging that situation sucks for users, Carly doubled down on the inflexibility of the hardware floor in response to the later questions, saying group policy will not enable you to get around hardware enforcement for Windows 11. We're still going to block you from upgrading your device to make sure device stays supported and secure. In other words, your computer doesn't belong. You should say, excuse me, you don't own a device. We own your device. That device you think is yours, we own it. We'll do with it what we want. So, unsurprisingly, the answers did not seem to go over well with the audience. According to Windows Central, the video top comment read, a lot of these answers came off as super tone deaf. It's looking like Windows 7 will be another Windows 8. Another comment says, again, according to Windows Central, speculated that the seemingly unnecessary hardware requirements are thinly veiled ploy to push new computer sales with corresponding boosts to Windows license sales. Unfortunately, we're left to take various blogs' word that what most tech community users had to say because Microsoft simply disabled comments on the video, deleting all existing comments in response to the negativity. Although the comments are gone, the voting is not, with 27,000 dislikes and only 140 likes as of this afternoon. Yeah, apparently people are not all that happy about Windows 11. People are saying, guys, every other version of Windows, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. Yeah, Windows 11 is going to suck, guys. Good luck. And it's going to force you all sorts of fun stuff, too. Well, if you want to help support the channel, I do have some affiliates. Linode is what we are talking about today. tlm.li/Linode. You can spin up a whole number of different servers and a lot of other fun things you can do over there. Your own Nextcloud, your own Jitsi server. I mean, I use all these myself personally. You can use my affiliate there. You will get $100 in credit. This will be good for 60 days. You can spin up as many Linodes as you would like in that time. You can play around with it all that you would like. So have a look at there, tlm.li/Linode. Let's go to SillyVille. First up in SillyVille, we had to cover an Olympic story. So Instagram blocks Elaine Thompson-Herah for posting videos of her own gold medals. This is where the copyright goes insane. So the Olympics owns intellectual property rights for footage of games. So a sprinter wins a gold medal and wants to show it on Instagram and gets blocked for it. That in and of itself should be criminal. I'm sorry, Olympics. You wouldn't have nothing without these athletes. You got nothing. If you cannot carve out an exception for the athletes having a photo of them and their medals on their own accounts, screw you. This is why I really don't get involved in any form of sports or crap. They're giant money pits. They're nothing more than that. They are exploitative to the end. You want to talk about missing exploited children? How about missing and exploited brain cells? But yeah, there you go. So Instagram is censoring athletes from their own photos because it contains a medal. That is criminal. Well, TikTok is now your new in-flight entertainment option on American Airlines. Lord help the world. What's on the movie today, stewardess? There is no movie. You get to watch 30 minutes of TikTok. That's all you get for free. I think this is a deal with TikTok to give this to them to try and hook people on it. Ooh, I don't have TikTok. Let's get some TikTok going. Ooh, and then you'll come off there. I need my TikTok fix. So yeah, going on an airplane now. No more movie. It's TikTok. Our brain cells are dying as we speak, guys. Our brain cells are dying as we speak. Launch a trial that gives passengers access to free in-flight Facebook Messenger. Lord. Do we really need free Lord. All right, well, anyway. Enough said about that. This is insane. Gigabyte has a new 1,200-watt power supply that has an LCD panel. Why do you need an LCD panel on your power supply? That's insane. Totally. Of course, somebody asks, can it play Doom? Not yet, but we're working on it. I'm going to play Doom on your screen? No, on my power supply. Okay. Core component of every desktop build. They generally aren't all that stirring. Hey, my power supply, I have a button. I can push it to turn on an LED light. I can push it to turn the light off again. Epic. I can't reach the button right now, though, because of where the power supply is. So, yeah, why do we need an LCD? Can we come up with some good reasons why we need an LCD screen? I mean, sure, I get it. Status, power, how much power is it pushing, any errors? Maybe, but it's just getting weird. It's not stupid. It's just weird. And yes, we will cover it when I see this thing being able to play Doom. Well, a man violates a restraining order by renaming his estranged wife's Napster playlists. Touché, sir. Touché. I believe he was arrested for it, in fact. Ohio man harassed his estranged wife through a shared Napster. Okay, if you're sharing something with a estranged wife who has a restraining order, say, give up the passwords, all right? If you really need Napster after all that, go get yourself Napster on your own account, okay? So he evaded a no-contact order by changing the titles of the playlists. The Ohio 8th District Court of Appeals outlined the case in July 29th ruling, which was flagged on Twitter by writer and attorney Eric Goldman. It's an example of how metadata can become a vector for harassment outside major social media platforms, echoing long-standing problems on other services like Spotify. Spotify just don't share passwords. If you're divorced, that means separate. All right. I guess it says estranged wife, so I don't know. According to the court ruling, He admitted to reaching out to his wife through their Napster account that both of them could access. Court had issued a temporary protection order against Dunn in 2018, prohibiting him from contacting his wife through any means. Dunn violated the order by renaming the music playlist. One was changed to, "I Want Us to Work. Do you?" Another says, "I love you more than ever. Do you still love me?" He pled no contest to aggravated menacing and violence. Okay, guys, when that is aggravated menacing, I mean, I guess when calling a person by their non-preferred pronouns is considered violence in this crazy upside-down clown world, then I guess renaming Napster playlists could be aggravated menacing and violating the order, although he later unsuccessfully attempted to withdraw and appeal his plea. At his sentencing hearing, he claimed he hadn't understood the rules of the temporary restraining order or protection order, despite explicitly agreeing them beforehand. "I figured out the hard way, unfortunately," he said. Court records indicate he was sentenced to probation. Kitty, what's wrong with this world? Oh, Lord. So, yeah, just a note, if you have a restraining order against somebody in shared accounts, don't be going in there and changing all those playlists. Now, guys, Microsoft Edge browser is getting a super duper secure mode, further demonstrating the infantilization of America. We are becoming a bunch of super we get super duper secure mode. What is this? A Mel Brooks movie? Ludicrous mode! Ludicrous mode! Oh, Lord. So I read through all this nonsense. You know what it basically is? So, take down this. So it boils down to JIT. So this is just-in-time compilation pipeline for JavaScript. This is something that is supposedly used to perform web browser performance on Chrome-based browsers. In other words, it's something that Chrome-based browsers have that Firefox doesn't. All the super secret mode does is it disables this, basically turning Edge into Firefox. This is euphemisms out of control. Super duper secure mode. You're just removing just in time. They found 45% of the bugs. Most of the problems were with this thing. Maybe you should just turn it off. I mean, there's a thought. After running automated tests for PowerShell, let's see. What's going on? So regression and improvements. So so page load up 9. So after running some automated tests, startup memory usage, and page load times, the researchers found turning off JIT led to improvements in some cases and slightly lower performances in others. Memory usage doesn't change all that much, while startup time improves around 9%. As for page load times, the worst case observation are almost 17% slower, while in the best case scenarios, they're actually improved 9.5%. Power usage is a similar story, with some tests showing 11.4% increase with JIT turned off. So there we have it, guys. Microsoft Edge now has the super duper secure mode. Super duper secure, guys. Epic. Let me know. Well, you can help support the channel. Have a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/TOMM. That's TOMM. And so you can join us over there, and this will support all the different channels that I have. If we add, remove, whatever else, those will be reflected on there as we get to rolling it out. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.